bad ones, murderers, because we've had murderers came in through the Biden administration. We have very tight borders now, but we had open borders. Incredibly, we had open borders. What were they thinking? But we have murders. Over 11,000 murderers came in. Many of them murdered more than one person. We want those people out. We want people that were in prisons. We want them to go back to their prison, not our prison. We want them out, and we'll get them out. We'll get them all out.
Do you think deportation?
It was really a terrible mistake that was made. When you think of it, so much of our time is spent on that subject, and it's a big subject because it's probably 20 or 25 million people, the real number. And of the 25 million people, it's, you know, millions of people should not be here. Now, all of them shouldn't be here if they came in illegally, but we have to get the criminals out. Washington, D.C. is doing great. Memphis is starting to do great. We just started there 2 weeks ago. Any place we touch is going to do well. If I were a governor, I'd say, please get your people in, whether it's National Guard or the military. Get them in.
Is there a deadline?
And as you know, we've been winning those cases.
Is there a deadline for San Francisco to get their crime rates down?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do it, but, you know, I have a lot of very important people that are really into San Francisco that are really trying to do it themselves. I said, we can do it better because we have a strong group, a tough group, a group that has powers that other people don't have. Locally, you don't have the powers that the federal government has. And we can do a better job of it faster. But I listened to a few of the people, you know, Jensen, who's fantastic, from NVIDIA, as you know, and Mark from, he owns Time Magazine, among a lot of other things, right? He's a good man. And they would love to give it a shot. And I say, go ahead, do it. And I would have done that with Chicago, but Chicago is very far along the way. We have to do something with that. If I have a lot of friends influential in Chicago. If they call me, maybe I do the same thing, but we have to save Chicago immediately. We can do that pretty easily, but we have to get in quickly.
Can I go back to Argentina quickly?
Yeah.
What do you think the state of the fiscal situation is there now? Do you think you'll have to do another
Well, we have the all-time
deal?
expert right here. I think right now we've made a lot of money based on that election because the bonds have gone up, their whole debt rating has gone up. You know, that election made a lot of money for the United States. Now, we're not in that for money per se, but if you look at the value of the bonds, the debt, Scott, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I think the great victory in this election, President Milei, I think he is going to expand his coalition, and you know they have some big refinancings next year. But the Argentinian people have spoken. President Trump, that they know that the U.S. is their ally. Thanks to President Trump, we're behind them, and that they're going to be able to fix their fiscal and keep on the road. He's working against 100 years of bad policies, and he's going to break them thanks to the support for the United States.
And we're helping other South American countries also, as you know.
Will they need more support, or would you consider it if they need it?
They might. Yeah, we would consider it.
Yeah, well,
I think they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, we think the market's going to do it from here. Now that he's gotten over this, as I always said, this was a bridge. We've bridged it. Thanks to President Trump's support, he did better than anyone ever expected. The Peronists said it wasn't a fair election because we were running against Donald Trump too. And now I think the market is going to take care of itself, and it's going to have a lot of confidence in his policies and the way forward.
The polls were very wrong on that election. I mean, the polls really got it wrong. That was an election they said was going to be lost, and not only was it won, but it was won by a lot. And maybe we did help. I hope we helped.
Sir, for you or Secretary Rubio, over the weekend, Israel assassinated a military official of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad movement. Does that violate the ceasefire law between Israel and Hamas, or are they treated as a separate group?
You're talking about the strike against the Palestinian Jihad individual?
Yes.
Yeah, look, Israel didn't surrender its right to self-defense. Obviously, the ceasefire is based on obligations on both sides. By the way, we'd also like to see Hamas speed up the return of hostage bodies. We still have 13 hostages, 2 Americans included. But we don't view that as a violation of the ceasefire. They have a right, there's an imminent threat to Israel, and all the mediators agree with that.
How transparent is the Trump administration? You got Scott, you got Jameson, you got Marco. We're not saying you please don't ask this question. You can ask anything you want.
Secretary,
There's never been anything like this. Do you agree with that?
Well, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question from my earlier thing. You said 5 Fed candidates.